Woo! Finally warming up a little bit. Got my adult beverage, and well, it's time to get back to work on the boat a little bit after dinner on a Saturday night. And things have escalated. Okay, we got the front cut out, and so I decided to cut this right at the break here, and then I plan on making a riser right here to get this flush, and that will be a good midship, and we can put some dry storage in there. Now, as you can see, I have a mark right here, and that's 4 foot. So from here to here is 4 foot, which obviously is the width of most metal, even though I have some 5 foot back there. It's 1/8 inch, and I want to keep this as light as possible, heavy as necessary, so we're going to go 100 gauge. Now, behind that 4 foot mark, we're going to put a very narrow console, and then I realize that that's a large step from there to the floor, so probably going to do a step. Now back here, we've been working on the transom a little bit. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's okay. You know, when your back's up against the wall and you can't figure out what to do, you gotta get a little ingenuity out. And well, I got this design off your mom. Tell your mom I'll be out for some meatloaf tomorrow. And oddly enough, I lucked out. I have 1 7/8 inches right here. That's a good thing, because most of my material structure-wise is 1.5 inches, and that's what I've been cutting for the last hour or so before I went in for dinner. 4-inch channel, okay, which is 1.5 inches tall, and we're going to make this structure welded out while it's clamped down to the table. And then that gives me, 1/4 inch to sheet, probably both sides, and yeah, make this thing strong as it can be. Now, as you know, we said that we're going to make a 27-inch transom. Well, that's not quite the case. We're going to make a 29.5-inch transom. You see, I drew everything to scale here. And then the original transom was, the original wood that I took out was 12 inches, right? But we're going to add 9 inches on top of that. And the reason we're going to 29.5 is because I'm putting that tunnel in there, and it's going to be about 2.5 inches tall. So a jet requires about 27 inches. That's where we're at. So by doing this, I'm absolutely locking it in that this is going to be a jet-only boat. Now, I could build that 20-inch transom back, make it a 22.5-inch transom, and then put a jack plate on there and run my jack plate all the way up to accommodate the jet foot. And then if I wanted to swap out and put the outboard or the prop unit back on there, which is sitting up there on top of the stairs, I could run both, right? So when the water's low, I could get the jet foot out. When the water's reasonable, I could be running a prop at probably a good 10 mile an hour faster. I don't really care about going fast in this boat. This boat is a get from A to B, run the river, so to speak, and with 49 horsepower at the prop or at the jet nozzle, there's going to be plenty. It comes down to it. I don't have that many friends, so if I have 2 or 3 people in the boat, 49 horsepower and a 16-foot boat's still going to be pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna get this welded out. We'll go ahead and buzz around here with a spool gun, make sure everything is solid, and then I'm gonna let it cool before we take it out. Now, I still have to turn this angles from here down. That's obviously a little bit of manipulation, but I read the load out center off the side. Right here is my 11-inch mark, and that 11 inches was where our little triangles were cut out of the back of the boat. Transom. I'm gonna put those back on. So that's the plan. Let me weld this out. I'll be right back. All right, boys and girls, let's wrap this one up and get you out of here. So, transom. We've got the basic shape that we want, and, well, I like how it's going. Get a little sideways there. We got an 1/8" thick skin on the back, and as you can see, we have the factory 100 gauge. Wherever I get this, I'll probably put another layer on it to bring it up there flush. But if you look down in here, we've got a little bit of room, and even though it might require a little massaging with a BFH, we're going to get that wedged in there and make sure it's tight as possible. Before I do so, when you come back, I will waller out these holes and make these holes bigger, and then rosette weld them to the new structure that we put in here. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said I was going to go right here at this mark and go 4 foot to the existing, and kind of changed my mind. 2 days later, I've changed my mind already. I think I'm going to move it up here, like 3 foot instead of 4. What's 1 foot going to get you, right? Well, that goes from where I'm going to have my seat base back. That takes me from about 5.5 foot to probably about 6.5 foot. And in my mind, that's probably the difference between being able to turn sideways and put 2 more guys back there, or another guy and a dog if I decide that I want to duck hunt. Maybe. I think that 4 foot would probably hinder me later. And honestly, I'm still going to have, like, from here, well, actually, from where it tapers back, that's still 4 foot, so it's fine. Unfortunately, I went ahead and ordered a steering system. Yeah, and it come here today, and, well, I wasn't planning for that foot. I also wasn't planning on going from the gunnel down underneath a step and up, so I'm probably going to have to order a different mechanical steering system. Now, safety lock, I think. It's made by Teleflex. Anyway, it's 3 turns lock to lock. So you're running straight. A turn and a half is full one way, and then if you want to go all the way back the other direction, it's 3 full turns. That's about as quick as you can get without getting into race parts, okay? And look, I'm going to keep this kind of simple, stupid, so to speak, and, well, $200 is not that big a deal. $2,000 gets to be a little ridiculous if I want something that is, 90-degree steering, which would be fun on a jet boat, honestly, but I don't need that. So life calls, and, well, this doesn't keep the lights on. So right now we're building custom aluminum tailgates for Jeeps, and I'll just show you what I've been doing today, and I've got to do one more. Then I can get back. That's probably going to wrap up the week. I might get you another video by Friday, hopefully. Now, just to break down the entire month of February for you, this weekend I'm going to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to the Great American Outdoor Show. If you guys are in the area, send me a line. Let me know you're going to be there. If you're working in a booth, let me know what the brand is. Let me know what the booth is, and I will stop by. Might even do a video with you. After Harrisburg, well, more on Harrisburg. So I'm going to Harrisburg to dive in with Face Off e-bikes. I've wanted an e-bike for a long time. I come across Face Off, and some of their stuff is just absolutely phenomenal. A small American company, and, well, I've offered to collaboration with them, and they graciously accepted. I'm super excited to get with Dieter and Face Off Bikes in 2025. No, Turkey is safe. After that, we're going to come back, and which one's next? NWTF. NWTF show in Nashville. I will be down there for a day or two. Definitely will be on Saturday. Don't know if I'm staying for Sunday or not. And then after that, when I come back home, the next weekend is CatCon, the Catfish Convention in Louisville, Kentucky. And I might actually spend one day in Indianapolis at the Indiana Deer and Turkey Expo. That's the same weekend. Even though I live in the middle, I might actually spend one day at each. So it's show season. We're 110 mile an hour, still trying to make money in the shop, still trying to get this done. And my next boat customer is supposed to bring his boat to me in 10 days. So I'm producing content the best I can. Last video we got flagged for some music that I grabbed off of the internet, and, well, I've got to find some free music. I used to be good at YouTube, not so much anymore. Anyway, you would think that monetization wasn't that big a deal, especially if you drop their name, right? But yeah, so apparently I don't get paid for all those views. So we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. If you've got suggestions, if you've got ideas, holler. Wetlander. One last thing, Wetlander. In previous builds, I have put Gator Glide on boats. I want to do something a little different this time, and I think I'm going to buy Wetlander and put on the bottom of this. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter whether you do Wetlander or Gator Glide, either one. It is a 5 to 7 day process. You put a coat on, you wait a day, you put another coat on, you wait a day, you put another coat on of primer, and then you scuff it up, and then you put 3 to 5 coats of the graphite epoxy on, and then you have to let it cure for 5 days. I really don't want to have the shop tied up right now doing this, so I think what's going to happen, I will do all my fabrication work, and then I believe I will probably go ahead and get this thing outside, just leave it flipped over, and when the weather starts getting a little better, or I start getting caught up around here, I'll bring it back in and put the Wetlander on it, because it has to be above 65 degrees, and it has to be curing for 5 to 7 days. It's kind of hard to do that when you own a business and this is the only spot that you have to work. So Wetlander might not happen until spring. We may be hanging this thing from the rafters after turkey season and then crawling underneath here and doing it that way. But come hell or high water, I'm going to get that thing out on the water just as soon as the ice comes off. So y'all stay safe, shoot straight, shoot off, and don't forget to wear the personal flotation devices when you're out there chasing God's critters. If you're going to be at a show, holler at your boy, because I'm probably there already. I'll see y'all. Have a good night.